Thank you all for being here today. We are so honored that the mayor of Minneapolis has joined us this afternoon to welcome us to his beautiful city. So please join me in welcoming Mayor R.T. Rybak. All right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Hello and welcome to Minneapolis. You having a good time so far? That's good. As you're the mayor of a city welcoming a group of visitors, the number one thing you're supposed to do is not trip on your way out and then say, have a good time in the convention, but please spend money in my town. So my job is done now, right? Much, much more important. When I got this invitation, I thought it's incredibly important for me to be here today because there is not a square inch in the city of Minneapolis that hasn't been made better and probably usually dramatically better by members of the LGBT community. The community has built this city. You're in a city that's of you, and thank you for being here. It's a great, great thing. One of the greatest privileges of my life came on August 1st. And August 1st came in this community because of incredible work over many, many years. For many years, many of us fought in the trenches for basic equal rights and said that there were many things about equal rights, but one of the things about it was the pretty clear fact of the matter that marriage is a religious institution for some, it's a romantic institution for some, but it's a legal institution for some, tied to 515 pieces of Minnesota law and many, many more pieces of federal law. Denying marriage meant a lot of things. I saw that in my own workplace. As the mayor of Minneapolis, I do my work. It was a tough job. I'd go home at night. My wife, Megan, would listen to all my complaining, patch me up, and somehow shove me out the door the next day. And in return, the residents of Minneapolis extended my benefits to my wife. Meanwhile, just on the other side of the wall, David was in a long-term relationship with Michael. My chief of staff, David, would go home to Michael and would talk about the exact same issues, and Michael would do the exact same thing. And yet, at the end of the day, the benefits that my wife got did not go to Michael. It was a simple, basic, clear-cut illustration of the fact that there were not basic equality in the city of Minneapolis' city government. That was wrong, but it trickled into every workforce and every workplace in the state of Minnesota. And so we fought for many, many years. And the good news is that they tried to put something on the amendment to actually ban marriage in the state of Minnesota, and it backfired. People turned out in droves. Workplaces came forward. There were phenomenal business leaders like Marilyn Carlson Nelson, the chairman of Carlson Hospitality. There were people like Ken Powell, the CEO of General Mills. There were business leaders up and down the food chain, and they did great, great work. And not only did we defeat that, but we went into the legislature, which turned over into much more progressive hands because of this issue. That legislature passed equal marriage, and that brought us to August 1st. And on August 1st, I stood in City Hall, and we had a wonderful moment. We began what was really a summer of love here in Minneapolis. And at midnight, we said the first I do, and then I did 46 straight weddings. Actually, they weren't straight at all. 46 weddings in a row. And from 11 till 7 at night, 11 at night till 7 the next morning, I heard remarkable stories. Looked each couple in the eye, heard their stories, more than 100 people. And collectively, they had waited more than 700 years for that moment. And I heard about people who've been in this battle for decades together and people who met a year ago on Match.com. The experience was dramatically different. The only thing they had in common is that they desperately wanted the rights my wife and I took for granted the night before. Now, the other month, about a month ago, I went down to Chicago because I said to the people of Chicago, you know, you have an amazing city, but we have something up here in Minneapolis that you don't have in Chicago. And you can get married up here, and you've got a study down there in Chicago that says there's going to be $100 million brought into the local economy if you have marriage equity. So how about this? If you're stupid enough not to pass that law, we'll take the first $10 million off your hands, and when you figure it out, you can get the next $90 million. So if you're living in Chicago, if you're living in Denver, if you're living in Dallas, or any of these other cities that claim to be magnets for cultural creatives, for talent, for attracting new businesses and business innovation, tell them that if they don't want you in your hometown, come on to Minneapolis, because we would love to have you. More important, take this advantage away from Minneapolis. We don't want this advantage. We want rights in every single part of this community and every part of this country, because the fact of the matter is no mayor in America can stand up at a podium and talk about their cities without talking about the contributions of the LGBT community, and no CEO or business leader of any kind can talk about their business running without the power of the LGBT community. You have waited too long. The time is overdone. The moment is now. I stand foursquare with you, so does this community. So have a great convention. Let's get back to work and make sure that everybody in every city, in every workplace, has the benefits they deserve. Go get them, and let's go continue to build a great community based on every one of you. Good luck and have a great time.